Okay, so everybody, this is Suzi Berry. She's the owner of Travel House and escorting you, and next to her is her husband Ed, who is also going to be with you. Okay.
They're the luggage carriers?
Of course. Okay, so everybody should have received today an email from UMAPT, which has this itinerary, which we're going to be going over in it. I recommend you download the UMAPT app on your smartphone, and then this will be with you as you're traveling. It didn't come out. If you have to uninstall and reinstall. They've had an update, and they make you do that. Yeah, we had somebody else who had that issue. Okay, so on the app and with the email copy I sent you, it's not on here, but there are 2 attachments, but they're things that most of you have gotten before. One is the initial general information that I sent when I sent your confirmations. So that's just on there in case you need to refer back to something. And then there's a suggested packing list, which some of you may have gotten, but a lot of it's going to be taken from the information in your packet.
What was the name of that app again? I'm sorry.
It's called UMAPT.
Can you spell that?
It's just U and then MAPPED, M-A-P-P-E-D. And when you click on the itinerary from your email,
Yeah.
it should take you there, and there should be instructions for downloading the app. You go to the App Store, and then you're going to recheck the bags for your flight to Cape Town. You're going to get into Cape Town the next day at
I know.
1205.
12:05. Thank you. These are much easier to read on your phone, by the way. Once you get to Cape Town, you're going to be met. They're going to take you to the hotel. The Commodore is right in the wharf area, so there's plenty of restaurants and everything down there. You can ask the hotel for recommendations. Basically, you kind of have the day to rest and relax, try and stay up and acclimate yourself to their time. So the next day you wake up and you're good to go. Okay, so your first full day of touring, just to give you an idea, the times are on here, what time the start time is. Always be in the hotel lobby 10 to 15 minutes prior to that time, okay? Please pay attention to Suzi on the trip because there's always last minute changes in times. They could fluctuate a little bit, so just kind of listen in case she has to update any of the meeting times. That day you're going to start out, you're going to walk over to the ferry, which is about an 8-minute walk from the hotel, and then you're going to take the ferry over to Robben Island. Weather permitting, hopefully it should be fine. Then you're going to do your Robben Island tour. Robben Island is actually a museum, and it's kind of a group tour for everybody going over on the museum. I think there's like 3 general buses or so that people divide into, so kind of stay with Suzi so you're all on the same buses. And then the tours are actually run by ex-prisoners of the island. Okay. When you come back, you will be meeting your guide for the afternoon, and then you're going to go up the Table Mountain, again, weather permitting, and then you're going to do like a panoramic city tour on the way back. Okay. Then you'll stop at the hotel, have a little bit of time to freshen up, and then you'll be going to the Gold Restaurant for dinner that night. Now, with any of the included meals, drinks are not included, so everybody will settle personally with the restaurant for any type of drinks that they order. Okay? Yes?
So how do we dress? Like,
Business casual, I mean, it's not anything dressy, so basically kind of what you have on today, you know, polo shirts, pants.
My shorts?
Yeah. As long as you look nice, they're not going to kick you out.
You got money, you can get in.
The next day, you're going to have a full day peninsula tour. You're going out to the Cape of Good Hope. You'll start off the day with the Seal Island cruise, and then you'll see the tour description for the day. And then that's a full day tour, and then you'll end up back at the hotel. That night is another night where you can have dinner on your own. Day 5, Cape Town and full day Winelands. Okay, that's the one we changed from lunch to dinner. Okay, so you're going to start out your day. You're going to be in the Stellenbosch area, which is great for wineries and all that. So if you want to ship wine home, I'm sure any of the wineries that you stop at will be more than willing to do that to you and bring olive oil home.
She wants me to bring I'm like, Ed's not gonna let me.
Oh my God.
So
Ship it.
I might have to bribe somebody. That night after dinner, you're going to do Takara. That's the restaurant out in the Winelands. If you look at pictures of it online, it's very beautiful. It's got like hills and mountains around it. Your menu choices, Susie will also have a copy of them, but your menu choices, in case you forget, I know because it's a few weeks away, they're there just to remind you. Okay. Then you're going to check out of the Commodore Hotel, and you're going to take the short flight up to Shamwari, to Bayete, the tented lodge. The good news is the lodge is strictly going to be our group. We took all their rooms for the dates.
Oh, good. Well, nice.
So
That's
it's
kinda
just
neat.
all of you. I mean, Shamwari is a big game resort, but actually at Bayete is just our group.
Cool.
Okay, and if you look in the guide, they gave like a sample timeline of kind of what your day can look like. Shamwari is very much about conserving the environment. There's they have the Rhino Center there, different things that you can go and do if you choose. Just talk to the people at the hotel and they'll be able to direct you. I know one day they'll probably offer an interactive cooking class. And this is on top of your game drives. And also, this is where the safari walk is. And again, anybody over age 60, please take that note from your doctor that you can do the safari walks if you choose to. It's just a liability for them that they need that note. It's not that they're too strenuous or anything. All your meals are included while you are at Bayete. Except for drinks. Again, drinks are additional. They do include, I believe, coffee, tea, and water. And then they have local drinks when you're out on the game drives. Okay? The game drives are morning and evening. Hopefully you'll see the big 5. And then once you leave, you're going to be transferred back to the airport. And then we have to spend a night in Johannesburg because of the flight schedules. So we're going to take the plane, go to Johannesburg, and you'll be transferred to the Da Vinci Hotel. There you're just going to spend a night. Johannesburg's a city. You'll probably just have time maybe to walk around a little and go have dinner. The next day then, you are going to be picked up and taken back to Johannesburg Airport, and then you are going to fly up to Victoria Falls. Once you arrive in Victoria Falls, you will be taken to the Victoria Falls Hotel. Okay, there's nothing that day except for dinner that night. Now, dinner that night is at the hotel, at the restaurant in the hotel. It's at Jungle Junction, I believe it is. So basically, you'll just have to go down at the meeting time and meet Susie in front of the restaurant, and then you can all go in together. Okay. After the next day, then you're going to do the full day tours. So you're going to start out the day with a guided tour of Victoria Falls. Then you're going to be taken back to the hotel, and then you'll leave again. 3:30 is the pickup time for the Sunset Cruise, which is just a decent-sized cruise ship on the river, and you'll just kind of go out and enjoy that. Then they're going to take you back, and then you'll have a little bit of time, and then you'll be transferred to Boma at the Victoria Falls Safari Hotel. That's a really cool hotel. If you look out, they have a watering hole there where the animals kind of gather, so you can see that from their deck. Okay, and then you'll have dinner there. Then the last day, you will be taken back to the airport, and you'll go Victoria Falls, change planes in Johannesburg Airport again. There you can, if you have any South African, not Zimbabwe, South African VAT that you need to claim back, that's a good time to do it that day versus when you're leaving to go up to Victoria Falls. It's better to do it there. They can probably give you further directions there of what can be claimed and what can't. You have to have the item with you and all that in case they ask to see it for the VAT. Well, they'll give better directions that morning. There is duty-free shopping in Johannesburg Airport, so you'll be able to do some shopping. And then you're going to take your flight back to JFK. And then once you go through customs, bus will bring you back to starting at Route 33 Park and Ride, and then go back to King Limousine. To Franconia Heritage. As far as other general information, foreign currency and credit card. Okay, so South Africa uses the rand. Okay, a lot of you got some of that. I can't buy the rand back, so make sure you use it. You can ask your tour guides there. They may or may not take the rand in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe prefers, I believe, the US dollar, but you might be able to use some of it there. But check with your guides first, and then they can tell you. Otherwise, use it before you leave. Okay? Zimbabwe is the US bills, and they have to be printed after 2001. And make sure they're in good condition just to be safe, because I'd hate to see if they're ripped or something, they may not take them. Cape Town and Johannesburg, you can do normal exchanges at banks, change bureaus, sometimes the hotel, though I don't know if you'll get the best rate there. ATM cards are normally the best, and you should be able to find them throughout your stay if you want to get more rands. Credit cards, Visa and MasterCard are the most widely accepted. American Express and Diners, not as much, or Discover. Now, the problem is going to be Zimbabwe. You're probably going to want mostly cash there. Okay, the good thing is it's US dollars, so you don't have to worry about exchange rates. ATMs are not as readily available, and you can't normally get US dollars, and they don't like debit cards. And also for credit cards, Visa is the one that's most widely accepted. So just keep in mind, whereas South Africa, it's like most other cities, Zimbabwe is different. So make sure you have a lot of cash on hand. Also, maybe smaller bills, don't take large bills, because they might have problem exchanging them.
So you're saying a lot of cash? I mean, what do you
Well,
mean? Yeah, what do you mean a lot? How much?
We're only there.
well, you have all your dinners and breakfasts included, so you'll need for lunch. And then if you want souvenirs, I mean, I would probably lean towards Cape Town and all that, but maybe 200, 300 per couple. I mean, you can go a little higher if you want to be a little cash heavy, but you're only there technically for 2 nights. So, but I would just make sure you're pretty well covered. And then if you need any drinks or anything at the restaurants or anything, you're probably going to want the cash.
It's better to have more than less. Because
Yeah,
it's US
especially
dollars,
US.
it's your money, you can bring it back. If it was their currency, then you're like, oh.
Said what?
No,
They do use Visa, but it's not as widely accepted. You might be okay at the hotels and stuff, but if you're out and about, you're probably safer to have cash, just to be safe. Cell phone, please call your provider before you go. Ask them about international plans, international service. Another thing you're going to want to check with them is what you should keep turned on and off, like normally roaming you don't want to have on, so you don't get a bunch of extra bills when you get back. All of our hotels do have free Wi-Fi, so that's good. Some of the travel apps, besides the mobile passport one, is Viber, and then I think the one we've mostly been using is WhatsApp. And you can call home to anybody else who has the app, so it's free calling when you're on Wi-Fi or texting. It seems to do a pretty good job. WhatsApp.
What was it?
WhatsApp.
What's up?
Yeah. WHATS. And then app. APP. Okay, you'll see the clothing suggestions in the attachment that I sent, and also in the inserts in here. Just to give you an idea, you're slowly going out of winter. So South Africa, you're probably looking about 68 degrees for the highs, about 45 for the low. And then Victoria Falls is a little warmer. It's more like 84 and 50. Okay. South Africa might be a little rainier, so make sure you have an umbrella and a raincoat, but it should still be pleasant. Electrical current. You will need adapters for South Africa. You can only get them Amazon, Walmart, any type of place like that. You may want to check on your appliances. A lot of them are now multi-voltage. They have to go up to 220, or normally the usual is 240 volts, and that means that you can use it with just an adapter. If you have a device that can only be used on US at 110, then you need the adapter and the converter. And when you're looking at converters, you want to look at, they have some with lower wattage and some with higher. You probably might, if you're doing like a curling iron or something, might want some of the higher wattages. Most of the time you can get away with just an adapter. Most of your cell phone chargers and everything are multi, where you just need the adapter. Okay, the plugs.
The adapter plug, it's two round.
Yeah, 2 or 3. So they use different plugs. South Africa uses type C and M, and Zimbabwe uses type D and G.
Which means what?
That you might need 2 different, but now they have adapters that are multi-countries, so you might want to look at one of them.
The one I have, the one they put in Africa just has the 2 round plugs and says good for Africa.
You're probably fine, but they sometimes have the 3 plugs, which the 2 should just work. But like here, we sometimes have 3-prong outlets and 2-prong outlets. But the 2 should probably work. Okay, but these are the plug types, so you just might want to check.
What page is that on again?
This is my notes.
Oh.
That'll be in the attachment.
Okay.
That is included with the documents and that we initially sent out with your confirmation. Okay, and then photography. Please take lots of awesome photos. Feel free to share any of them with Travel House that you can. I know we have a Pinterest board. I'll have to see if Sherry, I think you have to be invited, so I'll have her send it out if that's what we need to do. Now keep in mind, photographs, you shouldn't photograph any locals without their permission, and never take photographs of military institutions, armed force barracks, policemen, the president, government officials, or airports. Okay. And then the last, when you're coming back from Africa, just remember our customs regulations. You can't bring back any like meat, plants, seeds, vegetables, fruit, ostrich eggs and animal skins, stuff like that. Please don't bring them back. Okay, I guess people have tried because they actually gave me a warning on this. I think that's most of the general information. So what questions do you all have? Any?
Insect repellent.
I would definitely take it because of mosquitoes, especially up in Victoria Falls, which is why you need the malaria.
There's something called this DEET.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's some that have no DEET, whatever the heck that is.
Okay.
I read somewhere you want the one with D. I mean, it's up to
Right,
you. but
25 to 30% or
Our
something.
travel doctor said make sure you don't use the natural, she said make sure you use the DEET.
Right, exactly. Well, I had a little lesson from somebody at Walmart who was a former Boy Scout, yes, and gave me this elaborate little lesson. And so I think he recommended, he said that it was like 25 or 30%. Is this making any sense?
Are you talking about the?
The insect
amount of
repellent.
The amount of deep,
I got one that's
25
higher.
20%.
Okay, and this, I don't think there is a 20%. This was like 25, 35, 50.
That's what the doctor is.
Yeah.
That's the same thing as
The more
fishing, they
the
just
more the
charge you
merrier.
also.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
We have one that's 100%.
We do, I do too.
Yeah.
It's a little spray bottle.
You're in charge of that.
I'll take care of it. I've already had the lesson, so I think
You've got it under control.
I hope.
Any other questions besides insect repellent?
I just had one.
Yes.
I know when I read some of that information that you sent us
Mhm.
a while ago. In Victoria Falls, it says that there's a bridge that you can cross over.
That needs a passport. I do have, and that reminds me of something else too. I have an email out to him about that. Yes, I saw that too, and it said you needed your passport too. Though you can't go all the way over to the
Zambia.
other side. But they said to be out on the bridge you need it. So I'm finding out and I'll let everybody know about
Why
that.
can't you go all the way to the other side? if you
It's
have your
another
passport?
country. You need
Yeah,
visas.
same.
You need
You
visas.
can't get a visa when you enter?
You could when you enter the airport. I'd have to see if there's an additional cost for it. I'd have to see what that is and if you'll even have the opportunity because it's a half-day tour. I don't know how much time you're going to have there.
Gotcha.
But I can ask him.
So our tour guide may take us up on the bridge, is that what you
Maybe. I have an email out to him about that. The other is your passport, which Susie will remind you that first day that you arrive in Cape Town to take the ferry over to Robben Island, you need to have your passport with you on the ferry.
Can you take backpacks
Yeah, they haven't, there's no requirement about that, but you need your passport.
So what does this doctor's note have to say, that I'm fit to take a walk?
That you're
Is that-
fit to take a walk, you're fit and healthy to take the walk.
Yeah, I'll send him an email and I say, send me an email.
Yeah, that's what we did.
It's all insurance liability.
Make sure that it was printed separately, not both of us on the same note.
Yes.
Because we're two separate travelers, so
Oh,
I
no,
thought in case they wanted.
I'll send my card.
Now, you'll only need that note once, right? You don't need to
Oh,
make
yeah, it's
copies.
only at the game reserve, and like I said, it's just for liability. I guess they've got to cover themselves. Exactly, they're not responsible.
In case I don't, Susie, in case I don't come back.
Who could go first, fastest, the cheater or you?
Anybody else?
5 animals. I could only come up with 4.
Oh, no, you're gonna ask me. Oh, one is either the
Rhino.
it's the bison or it's along that line, yeah, yeah.
And the gorilla,
No, it's not the
and
gorilla.
the giraffe is one.
It's
No, it's
giraffe,
not-
elephant, rhino.
It's lion,
Lion.
lion,
So
yeah.
the other one
rhino.
must be that water
It's like the buffalo type, it's in that family.
How about zebra?
No,
Yeah,
it's
you
not,
might-
well, you might see them, but they're not part of the big five. The big five. What do we decide? They're lion. It's like a lion and like a water buffalo, and then it's elephant,
Giraffe, rhino.
rhino.
Is that 5? Something like that.
I think that's right. I was thinking one of the elephant or giraffe wasn't in there, but they probably are both in there.
They put pictures of,
Are they?
and also they.
What was that?
I think there were 2 cats that were in the big 5.
It might be the cheetah. They're big on cheetahs. Is Susie Googling it there? Do you have it?
Tigers are India.
Yeah, the cheetahs are big in Africa. It's the cheetahs.
So in
lion,
Victoria
the
Falls,
lion,
there's
the
no free
leopard, the
time really to
rhinoceros,
do
the
any
elephant,
other
and the Cape buffalo.
things, right?
There
It's
you
the
go.
Cape Buffalo. Yeah, yeah.
It's the lion, the leopard, the rhinoceros, the elephant, and the Cape buffalo.
Okay.
So giraffe isn't in there.
But we'll
But
probably see.
That doesn't mean you're not gonna see them.
And see the giraffe.
And you'll see tons of.
Yeah, just because they're not part of the big five doesn't mean, I mean,
Yeah.
you might not even see one of the big five. It's whatever animals are about.
See what
But,
we're gonna see,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. But there should be good animal viewing. It's a good time of year for
I
it.
have a friend that just went, and she was taking a shower in one of those outside things, and baboons were watching. She didn't like that. So bad. That's what he really wanted. When they're soaked.
Well,
That's
I
funny.
think in Valletta we have these jacuzzis like outside your rooms.
The
and
plunge
you can-
pools.
Yeah, the plunge pools and stuff, so be careful.
Are there still 23 in that group?
There are 23, yes.
Not 23.
No, there's 23.
There's 4 people, 3
There's
will
6.
be from Paris.
Some are
to
coming
go,
from Paris.
So they're gonna meet us there. And then Leanne will be with us. That's 4. Who else?
Bruce and Janet will meet you at the airport.
Okay.
So. Should all be good.
We could come from Paris, but we had to go there first.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, any others? Anything else?
And there's no free time in Victoria Falls, you said.
The first day that you arrive before dinner, from the time you arrive until dinner, there should be some free time there. And your hotel like has a view of the falls, so you're not, so you can kind of go off and explore. I mean, there should be like a view from the falls or right near there. Yeah, you're not far away. Yeah.
Is there a line travel tour guide with us too?
No, your guides will be more like on a daily basis. Yeah. You should probably have, like, while you're in Cape Town, it'll probably be the same guy on each of the tours, but they're not with you 24/7 for every single thing. Like at dinner, you'll probably just be transported and dropped off.
This copy that you gave us tonight, is that basically the same that was emailed at?
It's exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good, because we couldn't figure out how to download that. and bring it.
Exactly the same.
What about, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is everyone washing their clothes in this lice shampoo? Yes.
They said to do, our doctor told us to do that. It cuts
I
down
haven't-
on the mosquitoes
And it's supposed to get into
and bed bugs and everything else.
Our doctor said don't use deodorant, that'll cut down the mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes don't like me anymore.
Pardon me?
You're saying there's a shampoo we should, or soap we should use in our clothes before we go?
Yes.
Yeah, they said to wash.
What's it called?
It's in
Oh,
there.
Nix.
Yeah.
And that'll keep the bed bugs out of your clothes
The
too?
bed bugs and there's a, yeah.
That's good for general travel.
That's what she,
Yeah, that
and it's good
Because if you
for,
bring them home with you, they're hard to get rid of.
she said that if you wash it, use it, it's good for 25 washes.
Yeah.
You don't put any soap in your washing machine, you just put this in, let it agitate, throw your clothes in, let it go through the wash cycle, and then dry them, hang them up, whatever you gotta do, and then fold them and take them. And you're supposed to be, it'll help cut down on mosquitoes too
I was a
around your
little
body.
leery about washing my clothes. I know,
Nix,
I am
right?
too.
N-I-X.
Yeah. The stuff we
I
have
don't
with
know,
DEET
is it in one of these things?
Yeah, right here. No, I got it right here. Yeah, it's, I already have stuff kind of washed.
Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere.
About what?
20,000 pages now of stuff.
Yeah,
There's a lot,
same
I
thing.
forget.
There's a lot in there.
So that was from the doctor.
Yeah. I'm wearing long pants just because I don't want to deal with mosquitoes.
Yeah, layers are always good
Yeah.
because you never know. Like Victoria Falls is warmer, and if it's a rainy day, it could be a little cooler. So layers is always the best way to go.
So we found, so we didn't do
So
that
basically,
either.
you can wear anything you want to. Because in
Yeah.
that first
does
information
that mean
we
you're
got,
gonna wash them or
it
not?
was like, don't wear this, don't wear this.
Well, it's kind of it's in there. The recommendation for the clothing to take, and like I said, I attached it to the email that I sent over to you. So
There's nothing that has to be dressy for any dinner.
No, no. But I wouldn't wear like jeans or cut up jeans or anything like that. I'd do more country club casual for your dinners.
No jackets required.
No jackets. No.
I mean, usually at night
Pants are
on our
kinda
trips, we do dress up a little bit better than what we've had all day long.
But
To
that
cut-
one, we're going right to the restaurant.
I mean, yeah, the one full day, we're not gonna come back, so.
Right, the one that we go.
So just think
Do
about
I need
it.
to take a jacket along?
No.
Just put it on the bus, and then, you know. But usually at night we do change. I mean, I change at night just to look different.
And Takara is probably one of the nicer ones, but again, you don't have to do a jacket or tie, but maybe like, you know,
one is
the
the
polo
nice one?
shirt, Takara, because it's at one of the wineries,
That's
one of the more upscale
I
wineries.
have to say that day don't wear t-shirts and tank tops for the
Right.
men or sandals.
Oh, 'cause
Like
that's
just
the
make
day
sure
we're
you
out,
wear,
that's the day we're out all
you
day
know,
and then
polo
go right to.
with.
Yeah, yeah.
This,
So
you know, a
we'll
little
be
nicer.
presentable, I mean.
Are you bringing dresses or are you wearing like nice pants?
Like usually I take dresses because it's more comfortable with me. I'm not thinking about top and bottom. I'm thinking,
Okay.
you know.
I have one long dress and
So I
this is a
usually like
bathing suit.
dresses actually
Oh,
when I
that's
travel, and I
Okay.
usually wear them at night because then it's more, just easy. You know, it's not big item, so I usually do that.
Okay.
Make sure comfortable shoes, and I'm sure while you're at Shamwari, you don't want a lot of sandals, more like, you know, hiking
Closed toe.
shoes and that kind of thing, sneakers,
And
closed
then I
toe.
think we're taking our bathing suits because of the jacuzzis.
You
like,
can.
Your bathing suits, your shorts.
What do you want? No, it's outside.
No, I
Victoria,
like you, Kat, but I don't want to share a lot with you.
what footwear do you need at Victoria Falls?
Where do you eat at Victoria Falls?
No, I mean,
Oh.
you know, on the falls, you need,
Oh, the shoes, the.
Oh, it's just walking and stuff. So there, I mean, I would use whatever you're comfortable in.
okay.
Yeah, make sure they don't have, because it's going to be wet, so it'll probably get slippery the closer you get to the falls.
If you want to take one of these, what do you call them, the water,
Water shoes.
yeah, the water shoes, you know,
Water
so
shoes.
slip on.
Yeah.
You want to take, I mean, they're not big, you can take them.
Yeah, just make sure it's not anything you're going to slide with, that it has traction.
I'm taking
Just in case, yeah, if
In
you.
other words, leave your leather
I know.
Gucci's at home.
I'm just taking
Yes.
hiking
You
shoes.
mentioned hiking shoes and I wasn't gonna take any because it said sneakers were
Well,
fine.
sneakers are fine. Yeah, just as long as it's going to be safe when you're
Yeah,
out and
I'm
about
wearing
walking through the
My
bush.
Keens,
I'm
they're
happy
like
to carry
hiking
them.
shoes, but they're like sneakers, you know, they got.
I did get a hat.
Like take really comfortable shoes, because when I was in Jordan just 2 weeks ago and I was hiking, going on to Petra and climbing whatever, how many, my shoes were horrible. I got Skechers and it was, I mean,
Skechers
was so
don't have
far
any
away from me.
No,
I was
no.
struggling, so sneakers, I think they're good. Like, take old sneakers, don't take new sneakers. And hiking shoes, if you have good hiking shoes, take it. Like take bigger shoes than what your shoe
Hiking
size is.
shoes?
Like, that's what I thought I should.
He's going to take more shoes than you, Dawn.
Maybe my shoes were horrible. Yeah, no.
I had to go buy
My shoes are
new international brown carriers.
Oh, my goodness.
You're taking one.
She's limited you.
I didn't look at any of the hotel's websites yet
Yes.
to speak of, except for the safari one.
Oh, Bayete, yeah.
Yeah, Valletta, I was saying it
Yeah.
wrong. Do they have indoor pools at any of them?
That's
We don't know.
Bayete has the plunge pool. I don't think the Commodore does. I'd have to look. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
I sort of looked at that. I think they did.
I
Yeah.
have the safari one, they just have a little plunge pool, or an outdoor pool, but it's too cold
We used to travel.
at that time.
Yeah.
But
You're
like
used to the weather
Victoria
here. It might be
Falls,
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. They might. I'd have to look. Yeah.
If it's not too
But
much trouble.
it's
You
not
have
too
enough
much
on your
problems.
plate.
But you might want hair dryers are at all the hotels. That's normally one that I'm asked to.
Oh, that's good.
So all the hotels have hair dryers.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't go to dinner otherwise.
Oh, okay. question. As far
Yes.
as the luggage, you can bring, your check luggage and then a carry-on
And a personal item.
and a personal item. So are we responsible for transporting all of the luggage
There's
ourselves?
porter, yes and no. When you're leaving the airport, yes. There's porterage of one bag, so when you get to the hotel, that means they'll take it up to the room for you. So that's included, and then every day as you leave the hotel, Susie will let you know if you would need to put your bags out at a certain time. That's something that she will check on.
You're basically handling your luggage when we're at the airport.
Yes. So that's another reason you don't want to take a lot.
Tipping.
Tipping, well, if you're using porters at the airport, that's not included, but all your included travel house tours, so the tour guides, the drivers, the game lodge, it's all included.
For meals, I think it's at 10 to 15%.
For the included meals, you do not need to tip.
Right, for the one, for the.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, if you're eating on your own, yes. Yes.
I don't know if anybody else is lucky enough to have to travel with a CPAP. Am I the only one?
No, there's like 3 of you.
Are there?
Yeah.
Put those 3 in
So,
one
but
room.
that's a medical device, so that's not counted, right?
Does a backpack count as a personal item or not?
It depends on the size. The sides in there like 13 by 9 by, I forget what it is. So if it's not a large backpack, it's probably a personal item, yeah.
It is usually like he takes a backpack and I take a purse and a carry-on.
Do the hotels have refrigerators for insulin?
Oh, that's,
I don't know. We'd have to check on that. If not, they might be able to put it down in one of their kitchens with the restaurants. Okay. We can check on that. So you need that definitely?
Yes.
no, it is not.
And your medication needs to be all in medication bottles, not a 7-day.
No, yes and no. It's safer that way, but it's up to the TSA officers, so it's safer that way. Or take along your copy of your prescriptions. A lot of times the pharmacy can print copies of your prescriptions that you can have with you.
So you're saying it doesn't have to be in the original bottle?
It's safer that way. The TSA can do whatever they want, but most of the time they let them go through it the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I haven't ever heard, have you heard of them decline?
They take them out and they don't even ask.
Yeah.
In the 7-day thing, they'll flat out.
I've never heard of anybody having a problem.
We've always traveled with ours each day in those little baggies for each day.
And please put it in your carry-on. Don't put your medication in your checked bags because it could be really hard to replace if it's lost.
It said that over the counter, you needed to take them where original containers.
No.
I always take mine with me, the bottles too, but over the counter.
Over the counter to put them in the suitcase. Like
Yeah,
vitamins
check
and
'em.
stuff like that. they are checked.
That's what I got, all kinds of, I have a traveler bag with all the different things, you can go wrong, cold medicine, anything you can think of.
Yeah, do
Nose
that.
spray, anything, I have a case, all that stuff.
I normally throw mine in my carry-on, yeah, when I travel. So, any others? No? Any other? Okay, so.
Don't worry, we'll bug you on the telephone.
It's okay,
if you
shoot the
think of
emails over. Cool. Visa. I think we're good. I think it's pretty safe for, just remember, if you do buy wine or something over there, because South Africa is known for their wines and stuff, they can't go through security in your carry-on bags, because I know a lot of people think I'll put them in my carry-on so they don't break in my check bags. You can't, it's more than the 3 ounces. You can't take them through
So
security.
you have to drink it all before you go through.
You have to drink it home, put it in your
Well,
check bag, or ship it.
That helps
And
with
you
the
said-
flight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Put it on the check bag.
And you
Yeah.
said in the airport, there's a duty-free thing, and they'll seal it there.
There is a duty-free, but your duty-free is after security. So you cannot take it through security. They will
Right.
take it and they will confiscate it. So you can buy in the duty-free, but you can't take it from outside into.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
And I think that in the past, if people went together and wanted to
good.
ship, you did
They
$2,
do have some
you did
good
$2.
ones.
So if you put it together and it's one case, that was
Yeah, you
cheaper to
get a
ship
lot.
that case. With the shipping.
And the other, you have to,
To one house.
you have to be careful, because I'm not sure Pennsylvania, we still have our state law. You can?
Yeah, we
Okay,
ship
I've never
from
tried.
We ship from Italy.
They did? Okay.
You can ship it basically to travel house.
Yeah, but you gotta be home and sign for it when they deliver it, as we just found out. Well, we knew that.
But I meant if it was cheaper to ship.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's free shipping if we bought a lot of wine and shipped it to that address.
Right.
Sometimes they
Like
offer-
Travel House.
Yeah, you could always, well, you could always ship it to Travel House and then come pick it up.
You have a grill out
There you
back,
go.
have a party.
Just ship it before you get back, and I'm sure it'll be waiting for you.
You gotta give them a 1-week deadline. That's yours.
That it's ours.
If you don't show up in one.
Right. Yeah, hold on.
It's going to be a great trip.
Oh, it's gonna be
It's gonna be
fantastic.
fun. I mean, the people who are going on this trip, I know most of you, and you'll get to know each other definitely on this 10-day journey. We still have 6 more to go, and they're fun people, a lot of fun people, so it's gonna be good. I just ask you to be on time. Nobody else is waiting, for each other. And I'll keep you updated with everything that is going on. And and if you have any emergency, even in the middle of the night, you can call me. So I'm there for you the entire trip.
The only other thing too, which I forgot, which I normally tell the women on our women's trip, is one of the front seats, leave it for Susie and Ed, because a lot of times she's got to go back and forth with
On
the
the
guide.
bus.
Yes, just one of the front seats. And if any of you have motion sickness, let her know, so she can make sure you're near the front or whatever you need.
And I think there's 6 people here that traveled with me on tours, on tours with Susie and stuff like that. So I think you can vouch that it was a good trip.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So it will be a good trip.
Stay off the escalator. Yeah.
First hour down to your back. Yes, she did. That was the beginning. That was the first. Were you hurt? No, she wasn't, thank goodness.
Thank goodness, yes.
Okay, well, I think we're good if nobody else has any questions. There's still food over there if anybody wants coffee or cookies or anything.
3:45 a.m.
Sorry.
Well, we gotta stop going
I know, that's a hard one.
It's a long day.
Are we taking motorcoach to
Oh,
down to the
really?
airport?
A small one. No, there's no bathroom.
Yeah.
It's 3-hour ride down Schaffner.
Yeah, hopefully, there shouldn't be traffic that time of day. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, famous last words.
I know, you never know with New York,
Hey,
but,
it's not school buses, so we don't have to worry about that.
yeah.
Yeah, in May we went up there in the early afternoon, and we were there in 3 hours.
We-
Even early afternoon.
I admit, we buffered the time a little because there was one trip where she got caught and it was close and we didn't want to take a chance. Yeah, because you have to be there by 8:15.
She needs someone to pick her up, bring her to Franklin. I said, maybe I'll swing by. She said, is it a yes or a no?
If there's no Phillies game on tonight, there's no reason to go home and always
Oh, Dave's going.
Yeah.
And they changed costumes.
Did they let you take photos or were you?
Yes.
They were down there at the hospital?
And there was a local band that was all, the local tribes, the local tribes